So today in this one, so what we will try to do it is, so we have learned the core concepts. So if I try to go here into this one, so we have learned all the core concepts in this one. So what I want to tell you about this one is, so today we will try to do a simple example. So some simple example we will try to do it, some application. Then afterwards we will move on to the routing concept. So for this one, what I will try to do it is, let's go to here in this one. I am opening my, let's go to the D drive and command prompt here. So I am creating a new project today. npm create view@latest, something like this. So you can able to find in the quick start there the command. Maybe I am thinking this was the command. So it will ask you some series of questions. In the quick start or somewhere we will be able to see that one. npm create view@, yeah. So this will ask you some series of questions like this. So let it ask. My system is slow, I think, so that is the reason it is taking some time. Okay, let's wait. What we will try to do it is the application simple, the post application I will try to do it. So we will be having some APIs, right? So you people can able to create your own APIs using the .NET thing, but I will try to use some dummy JSON, this type of API, and I will try to get the details and I will show it here. So you people can work on the real-time APIs thing and all those things. So here it is this one. Taking too much time. Yeah. So now it is asking you the project name. Okay, I will create it as an view-post and TypeScript no, JSX support no, router right now no. So we will install it manually. Pinia management no, unit testing no. So no end-to-end testing. ESLint okay, if you want you can add it. So these all no. So let's go to the view-post, and here you can install it using npm install. So I am installing it. So it will take some time to install. So this is a common process while creating a project. So you people are already aware of this one. So it is taking some time. Let it take. Yeah, it is created. Let's go. Let's run this npm run dev. Okay. So it will have some. Yeah. It will open the URL. So by the time what I will try to do it is. So here let's go to the Visual Studio Code. I will go to the any editor whichever it is. So let's open this Visual Studio Code. And here in the Visual Studio Code I will try to open the new project. So here I will create an open folder, and in this open folder I will go to the D drive, that is nothing but view-post, right? So here somewhere it will be, yeah, this is the project. Select folder so that the solution explorer will be open. Here this is the project which we are having, and already we are running the project. So here if you try to run this one, localhost 5173 or something like that, it will be. So successfully the project is getting started. So the project is started. So right now this is not the project. So what is my requirement is, so just I will try to do a simple thing. You can extend this one, you can extend your application. So what I want to have it is, so here in this one, so I will create a simple header. Okay, we will have a header component, and we will be having a post component. Okay, so whatever the concepts or the core concepts which we have learned, so we will try to implement this one. So the post component we will having, so I will try to make an API call. I will get all the posts and I will try to show it all those things. So using our core concepts which we have learned, and we will have a button add a post, so that I will open a model pop-up. Okay, so whatever it may be. And here what I will try to do it is, so whatever the thing, so we will be having a simple form which we will be adding the new post, And when I submit this one, I need to make a post request. So using some headers, any headers, if you want to send request headers, I will try to show you how to send the request headers also. So using like this. So this is the basic thing which I will try to do it. Then afterwards we will learn another concept, that is nothing but routing. In that routing we will do an application, somewhat more bigger application we will try to do it. So routing concept we will learn. So these concepts are core concepts. After learning the routing, so if you are aware of this one all, if you are comfortable with these all the concepts, then in routing we can do login and all those things. So everything we can do it. So first we'll try to implement this one. So let's try to go here, and this is our project, right? So this is the APIs, dummy APIs I'm taking for this reason. So instead of products and all those things, I will take the post. So previously while we were running the routing and all those things, you'll take the products example and all those things, you'll do it. Okay, this one gone post. Yeah, here the post. So now what I want to do it is, here this is our app. Okay, so for designing thing and all those things, I will try to take the bootstrap. Okay, so that we don't concentrate on the designing CSS and all those things. So let's open the bootstrap and I will try to install this bootstrap. So okay, this is the command which we need to install it. So here directly we can install this one. So if you want to directly add the CSS file means, so that .css file you can add it, or otherwise through the npm also you can install it. pm bootstrap 5.3.3, and this is the npm, it has been installed. So if you want to add this one means, so normally what we can do it is, in our main.js you will be having assets/main.css, right? So in the assets you will be having, this is the root CSS file. So you can remove these all the things. Why? Because so the design for this one, so which you are able to see this design, right? So this is the design which you will be able to see. Now the design entire thing will go away. Sorry, here we need to save it. Yeah. So if I save this one, the design enter thing will go away. So that is the CSS. So now here what I will try to do it is, so here we can import this one. Oh sorry, what is this scheme? So we can import the bootstrap. So that is nothing but bootstrap. So that bootstrap will be available in the node modules, somewhere bootstrap, in the dist, in the CSS, and the bootstrap.min.css. You will be able to have min.css. We'll let's try to import this on bootstrap, the dist, bootstrap.min.css. Okay, fine. So fine, we have imported this one. So what is happening here? Let's try to import like this. Import it like this. I don't remember exactly. What has happened? Something I missed it out. Okay, you will go at node module, something like this. You'll do it everything. So actually we have different. No such file. View post node modules bootstrap. Whether I missed anything wrong or what? Bootstrap node modules. We will be having inside this one. Where is the bootstrap? It is missing again. Here is the bootstrap in the node module. Are you people able to find? Yeah, here it is having bootstrap. Inside this one. Okay, inside the dist, inside the CSS we are having this one. Fine. Okay, I think we can remove this one. I think no, not a problem. So yeah, this one like this also it will work. So automatically it will go to the node modules one. So now the bootstrap dist CSS. So here the bootstrap.min.css. Let's check that whether it is working fine or not. So let's go to the, we have our own thing, right? App.view. This is our entry root component. So here what I can do it is, in this one I can remove this entire code. Okay, and here I can write one div, and here I can use a button. So button, and here also I can write the div. So now, so here I can use a something like click here or anything, and I will try to apply a class is equal to btn-primary, something like that, so that we can able to see whether the classes are applying or not. See, we are able to see a blue color, so that means the bootstrap classes are getting applied. So that's it. So now we have installed we have successfully applied the bootstrap to this one. Now what we need to do it is, so let's try to implement the post project. So now the main concept, everything will lies in the components thing. So I don't want this one also. I will try to delete this entire thing. So why? Because I want to be clean. So let's try to start it from the scratch onwards. Delete it. Yeah. So now let's go here and I will create the components here. Components. Okay. So this is our components, and here this entire code I will try to remove this app.view entire code. So as we already know, so let's try to here. Yeah. As you people already know, so this is the template. Okay. And here I will try to do post data or something like this. And here we will be having a script code. So this is our typical component, view component. So here we are able to see the post data. So fine. So first let's try to add an header. How we will try to add an header is, so here this is our component, right? In this component, I will create a new file, header.view. This is our new component. And here we will be having a template. Okay. And here I will be having a script setup. So this is our thing. And in the bootstrap only, what I will try to do it is read the docs. I will directly insert the nav bar for this one. So whichever you will be having, somewhere you will be able to have this nav bar. Yeah, some code I will try to take it. So this code looks like fine. So let's try to copy this entire thing, and you can go to the header.view and here you can add it. So just I am trying to show you how we are creating a components. So while routing, while we are learning routing, we can change this all entire header also. So if you try to see here, there is no output coming. Why? Because we need to import the header here. How we can import a component? Here directly import header from components / header.view. That's it. So here if you want to use it means, so here this is not needed, and here directly you can use the header. That's it. Now if you try to see the output, so here we are able to see the header has been came. So this is our header component. Fine. And now we need to design the post data. So that means first of all we need to get all the posts through the API, and we need to show the post data here. So for this one, what I want to do it, instead of writing the entire data here, I will create a separate component for this one. So that is nothing but post data. So here I will create a new folder, posts. Why? Because these all components and everything related to the post component. So it will be there in this folder. So first one is post.view. So which will show all the posts in this one. This is the main component. And here also same thing, the template you will be having. The template you will be having, and here I will be having the script, and this one will be set up. And now here in the app.view, we are able to see the header and all those things. I will try to import the post here, post from .components, and in the post you will be having that one in the post / post.view. That's it. So now here I will try to include the posts here. So now if you try to see, we can able to see the output. So right now we haven't included anything. So here I will add posts. Fine. Now we are able to see the posts also here. So let's try to add some gap for that one. So in the app.view, so we can have a .container, and in this container, what I will try to do it is I will add this post into here. So now we will have some gap here. Okay. If you want to have some top also, so you can add empty-4. Then you can able to see some little bit down. So this is our post. And we can close these all the components. Why? Because so now we are solely concentrating on the post component only. So just we have defined our architecture, and header means if you want to work anything related to the header means you can go to the header component, and if you want to work related to the post means you can go to the post component. So everything is you can close these all things. So in order to not to get confused. So now we are more concentrated on the post table. So what is our requirement right now? First, in order to show the post data, so here we can have something like h1, okay, posts. So we are able to show the posts. So now here, what is our requirement? First is, so we need to call the API to get all the posts. And next, after getting the API, so we need to save the posts, store the posts or save the posts in one variable, and we need to show that data in the template. So this is one thing. So first what we need to do, we need to call the API. So before how we can call the API, you need to understand about this one. So we have discussed about the lifecycle hooks of this component also. So we have seen about the on mounted, and these all the things we have learned it. So now when the component is loaded, so that means when the component is loaded means in the Vue.js terminology it is mounted. When the component is mounted, first step, the post component is mounted in the browser means, or it is rendered in the browser means, first what it needs to do it needs to call an API, the post API, and it needs to get the post data and it needs to show it in the template. So that means first step is it needs to call the API. So for calling the API, we have the endpoint URL and we can call this one. When we need to call, this is the main important. When the component is mounted, so that means we need to use the on mounted. So this one should be imported from the view, and this takes a callback function. Okay. So whenever this component is mounted, this callback function will be executed, or otherwise you can also say, you can also use component mounted or something like this method, and you can create this method. So function component mounted. So like this you can use it. So that means whenever this component is mounted, or loaded, this function will be executed immediately. So this method will be invoked, and whatever the function is there inside this one, this function will be invoked immediately. Invoked means it will be called immediately. So here if you try to see console, I will try to do the console component loaded. Okay, so component loaded. So now this component is loaded. Now if you go to the console and if you try to refresh this page, so if you go to the console and you will be able to see the component loaded. So the console you are able to see. So normally what we will try to do it is, instead of writing another function and all those things, so here directly we use an anonymous function or a closure function, callback, no, not a closure function, it's a callback function, and immediately whenever this mounted is fired, this callback function will be executed. Immediate execution of this callback, the function which doesn't has a name, is called as callback function. And now here what I will try to do it is, first I need to call the API. So we have here the calling of the API. So this is the dummy JSON post or something like this. So right now I will be using the fetch default JavaScript thing only. We can also use a third party tool also, like Axios or anything. So here what I can do it is fetch of, and this is the endpoint URL which we are trying to use it. Sorry, we can remove this one. Okay. So fetch. So when this fetch is done, so when this API call is done, so it will return a promise. So the promise, when the promise is resolved, so that will be, then when the promise is resolved, then we will be catching that promise. So now you will be getting the response. Okay. So this response is a readable stream. Okay. This response will be a readable stream. So then what you need to do, so here you will return again a promise. Okay. Return response dot.json. And this returns a promise. Again this promise will be catched with a then block, and here you will be getting the post data. Okay, so like this you will be getting a post data. So if you try to click console.log of post, so you will be able to see the output. So now here you will be able to see a post array of 30 or something like that. We are able to get this data. So now this is how we will be doing it. Instead of doing this one, so these all promises and all those things, if you instead of doing this one, so we can use an async await also. So what I will try to do it is, so here I will be using an async. Okay, whenever you are trying to use an await, we need to use an async. In the latest JavaScript, there will be no need to use the async also. Directly you can use it await also. Now what I will try to do is constant post response is equal to await of fetch. I will try to do it, and here this is the, oh sorry, we got it entered thing. So let's try to copy the only this URL. Post data, and here I will be having this post data. Okay, so this is the post data I am having, and we got the post data. So here I will be getting the post data completely. So I told you, right, this one will be a readable stream. So now in order to convert, in order to wait until this readable stream everything is completed, so this fetch API will return you in that readable stream only you will be having a handy method that is nothing but post response dot JSON. So this also returns a promise. So in order to wait until this promise is completed, so we need to use an await. So when this JSON means automatically the readable stream entire thing, when it received the stream of data, if it is received completely, then that stream of data entirely will be converted into a JSON object. So that which you can able to use it. So now here if you try to use this console.log of post, so now directly you can able to see the output. So now here I will try to do it, and here you will be able to see a post data, and here you are having post.post as 30. So now what I will try to do is I will create a reactive variable. So if you want to create a reactive variable, you can create it, or otherwise normal variable also you can create it. So I have shown you, right? Reactive variable means whenever the template changes that variable, automatically whenever any code changes the variable, automatically the template will be reacted. If you use a normal variable means whenever the data is changed, the template will not react to the changes. Only the still the old data will be displayed. So instead of having that one, so I will use a constant data is equal to reactive of, I will use this common thing, that is nothing but reactive of, here I will use a post, okay, post of empty array. So this is our post. So right now first time we will be having empty, and here we got the post. So what I will try to do is data dot post is equal to post dot post. Why? Because inside the post object is there. So that's why post dot post it will be. So now we got the post data. So here I will try to show you console.log of data.post. Okay, it's a proxy way. You will be getting a proxy data. It's a wrapped with a view methods proxy, and here in the target you will be able to see all the posts are there. So now what I will try to do it is I will try to here use this data. So here what I will do here, do if post dot length is there. So that means if the array has more data, so that means more than one it is having, means that means if it exists any data. So then I will try to loop over each one, post in post, and here what we need to do, we need to use a unique one. So that is nothing but key is equal to post.id. So you will be having a post.id, and in this one I will try to use something like h3 or anything. So post.title. So here you will be having, each post will be having a title is there. Okay, let's try to show the title, post.title. And another one is body is also there. So I will try to show the body, and that too I will be using the paragraph. So that's it. So now let's try to refresh this page, and let's see whether we can able to get the data or not. Why it is getting error? Undefined post dot length. Okay. So why? Because so we need to use data dot post dot length, and here also we need to use data dot post. Why? Because we have wrapped it with the data. Fine. Now let's try to see the output. Now if I try to refresh this page, let's see. Yeah, here we are able to see all the post data. We are able to see whatever the 30 post data is there, I am able to see it. If you want to do some design and all those things, means you can use HR, so that you can able to see one distinguished line between this one, and here also you can use one HR. Okay, so one line will be there. So these are all the post data. So I am not concentrating more on the design. So just I am trying to show all the post data. So this is how we will be showing the post data on mounted. We are calling the fetch API, and we are doing it. So now here we can also further divide this one entire thing. So for example, let's say that this one we are looping this one, each one, right? Instead of this one, what we can do it is, here I can create another component. So where we need to show a single post. Okay, this component is responsible to show the single post. So here I will be using template. Okay, and this one is single post, and here you will be having the script setup. Okay, and here you will be having a script as single post. Now where I need to show the single post, so here, so import single post from, so single post.view. Okay, this is a single post, and instead of doing this, instead of showing this all the code, so what I will try to do it is, so here I can use a single post. Okay, I can use a single post. So now if you try to see here single post, we are able to see it. But what I want to do, so single post means, so how many post data are there? There are about 30 post data in this API. So each single post, it should be repeated 30 times. So that means I can loop over this each one. VIF and for in post in data dot post. So for this one you can use key is equal to post.id. Okay, the unique name I am giving it. Now if you try to see here, the 30 times the post data has been repeated. So fine, so everything is looking fine. But what I need to do here, instead of showing the static data, I need to show the post data. So here, so that means I need to pass each single post data as a prop to the single post. So that means here I will pass it as post is equal to post, which we have learned about the post props. So post, I am sending it as a post. And here what I will try to do it is, here I need to capture that post. So how can I capture that one? Define props. Okay, so we are defining the props inside this one. So you can use an object or anything. So the first property which we are getting is the post, and here you can have something like, okay, sorry, we can use the elaborately, or otherwise you can use it something like post, which is of type object. So we are getting it as an object, right? So you can use it as an object, or otherwise you can use another object and you can do required true and all those things. Type is equal to object, like that also you can do it. So now we are able to get the define props. This post you are able to get it, and if you want to use this in the code means, so you will be defining this one as a constant props. Okay, on mounted. So when this one is mounted, so you will be trying to check the props here. I will try to show you the props, how you can able to see. Console.log of props. Okay, and if I do this inspect element, you will be able to see here that 30 times the data we are able to get it. So here you will be able to get the target here. So this is the data we are able to get it. So now in order to use this data, what you can do it is, this post is there, right? Directly I can use this here. So that is nothing but div. So I got the post data, single post data. So directly I can use post.title here. Okay, sorry, post.title here. And this one is something looks like h1. Okay, and we have another one. Oh, sorry, we can use an h3 or something like this. And we have another one that is nothing but paragraph element. Okay, and that is nothing but post.body. Post.body. So now we are able to see this output also, and if you want you can add the HR also, so that you can able to have a clear distinction. So now we have divided this entire code into n components. So now here you will be having a single post. So this single post which you are looping over, these all the components, and you will be able to, and you are sending the whatever the data is required for that post, you are sending it as a props, and you are capturing the props here, and you are trying to show the data. So now we have divided everything in a, what I want to tell you, in a component base. So now this is how we will be calling the API. So now what I will try to do here, the post is there, right? Here I want to add a div, and here I will add a button, add post. Okay, so I am adding a button, add post. Now if you try to see here, this add post is there. If you want, you can move it to class is equal to text-end. It will move to the end. Okay, and if you want to add some effect, so btn primary or anything, you can add it. So now this is the add post. So when I click on this add post, so we need to show a simple pop-up. I will try to show you that pop-up. We'll use the bootstrap thing only. And I want to show this pop-up. Inside that pop-up, you will be having a simple add post form. And when I click on the save changes, automatically a post request has to make. And when the post is successfully submitted, I need to close the pop-up. Okay. So that is how we need to do it. So for that one, what we can do it is inside the bootstrap thing. So let's go on to here, and we can able to see a model. So where is that model? See, yeah, here in the top only the model is there. So we will be having a simple model. Yeah, here we are having a simple model, or otherwise any other model also we can copy it. So we'll copy this model thing. I want to copy this model. Okay, any model you can copy, not a problem. So what I want to do here, so I want to create a model. So now what I want to do is, whenever the user clicks on this button, I want to show an add post. So here I will create a new component, that is nothing but add post.view. Okay, and here you will be having a template, and let's copy this entire model thing, and here we will be having a script file setup, and let's leave it like this. So this is our model, and whenever the user clicks on that button, I want to show this model. So first of all, let's try to use it here, and what I want to do is, so I will try to show this add post directly. For that one, I will import this add post. I will import this add post from add post.view. Okay, so this is our add post.view, and I will try to use this add post directly here. So let's see whether we can able to see the model pop up or not. So right now we are not able to see the model pop up. In order to see this model pop up, what we need to do is we need to add a show class here. Okay, and also we need to use d-block. I think so. Yeah, we are able to see a model pop-up. Fine. So we are able to see a model pop-up, and some background also we need to get it. So how we can get the background? So this is not the correct way to use it, but I am just for the demo purpose I am showing it for you. And if I try to go to the inspect element, this is our model, I think so. No, not this is or not this is our model. Yeah, so this is our model. Let's try to delete this model, and here you are able to see a gray color thing, right? And this is our model backup. Okay, I will try to add it here. And for the class I will add this one. Yeah, fine. So now let's try to see on our code. So now we are able to see this one. So this is our model pop-up. So now whenever I am trying to refresh this page, so all the time this model pop-up it is showing. So you should not show the model pop-up. Whenever the user clicks on the add post only, then only I need to show this model pop-up. Okay, fine. Let's go to here. So we will have a variable show add post model. So by default I will try to keep it as a false. So that means here I will add a condition v-if, okay, data dot show add post model is there. If it is true, then only I need to show the pop-up. So when I need to make it as a true, whenever the user clicks on this add post button, then only I need to make this one as a true, so that automatically this add post component will be invoked. So now for this one, what is the thing? So here when the user clicks on this button, so here I will write an event listener for this one. So @click dot prevent, these all things we have learned it. So on show add post. So this is the method which I will be calling. So this method I will write it here at the bottom. So here you can write it as a function, or otherwise you can use another method also. Arrow functions also you can use it. So here what I need to do, data dot show add post model is equal to true. I will try to make it as a true. So when the user clicks on this add post button, and I am calling this method on show add post, and what it is trying to do, when it is trying to make it as a true simply, and when it is true means automatically this component will be invoked. Why? Because this has become true. Now when I click, now I will try to show you. So now when I click on this button, automatically the model pop-up is coming. You are able to see it, right? When I close this one, it should close. So we will try to do that one afterwards. First let's try to see this scenario. When I click on this one, so we are able to get this output. Fine. So now what I need to do here, I need to design the form. So okay, let's go to the add post form, and these all entire things. So I don't want to bother about this one. Header is there, and also footer is there, and here lies the body. So here I will create a form. So for this one, just I will create one div, and in this div I will be having a label, okay, and that one is nothing but title. So the post title, and model title you can change it to add post, something like that. And here I will be having a div. So here I will have an input, type is equal to text, input type is equal to text, and I can use a class is equal to form control, and here that's it. So now you will be able to see a title here. The same thing what I will try to do it is, so here we will be having a body, and here we can have a text area, class is equal to form control, and you can able to see a title and also a body. So fine. And here we can use understood at something like that. We can change it to save post. Okay. So save post, and close means it will close the form. That's it. Model title means if you want to change this model title in the header, you can check it as add post. Okay. So this is our add post. So this is a simple form which I want to do it. So now when the user clicks on this save post, automatically we need to submit the form or something like the data we need to take it. So for this one, what I will try to do is from the whole content. So this model content is there. I will wrap it in the form. Okay. So this is our form, and I will the whole content I will wrap it in the form. This one, I think here at the bottom or here. Yeah. So I have wrapped it in entire thing in a form. So now this is our form. So whenever the user submits this form, okay, I need to on add post. So I need to invoke the method on add post. So let's go to here script code, and here I will be having a function that is nothing but on add post. So now here what I will try to do, let's try to adding post. So just I am trying to do adding post. So let's see that whether this one is invoking or not. Let's go to the inspect element, and here in the console, if I try to show, if I try to see, let's refresh this page. Fine. So these are all consoles, we will remove it. Add post, so it's coming, and when I click on this save post, so nothing is happening. So why it is happening? Okay, this button is of type button, so it should not be type of button. Why? Because we need to submit the form, right? It should be of type submit, or otherwise if you don't provide this type also, automatically the default will be submit only. So let's refresh this page again and go to the add post, and when I try to click on the save post, so we are able to see this one, but the form is getting refreshed, but here the entire page should not be refreshed, so it should wait. So for that one, what we need to do here at the top, submit.prevent, we need to use submit.prevent. So that means it will stop the form submitting or refreshing. So here what I will try to do, the default behavior will be excluded. Now when I click on this one, so let's go here and I click on the save post. See, we are able to invoke the method adding post. So that is nothing but this method we are able to invoke it. But somehow I need to capture the title, body, and whatever the data the user is writing here. I need to capture this data and I need to submit, or I need to do an API call here. So how can I do this one? So for this one, what we need to do is, there are different varieties of ways which we can do it. I will try to show you in the Vue.js how we can do it. So here I will use the constant data is equal to, so same thing, reactive of, and here we need to have a single post, right? So post, it is of type, so we are having a title of type empty, okay, and we will be having a body which is of type empty, okay. So now we are having these two values. So now we will bind these two values with the two-way data binding here. So which we have learned it, v-model. So here I will try to use data.post.title, I think. Okay. And here for this one, I can use v-model is equal to data.post.body. So I am binding this one to this here. So that means whenever the title value is there, automatically the title value will be highlighted here. Whatever the title value is there, it will be highlighted. So now what I want to do it is, so whenever the user tries to add some data here into this one, so whenever the user tries to add the data into this one, automatically these variables will be there, right? Title and body, automatically these values will be updated in this variable. Why? Because we have used a v-model. So it's a two-way data binding. So here when the variable is updated, automatically this element will be updated, the data. Whenever this element is updated by the user, means automatically this variable also will be updated. So that means it's a two-way data binding. So now I have used it with the v-model. Whenever the user changes the data, automatically the data.post.body or the data.post.title also will be get updated. So now here let's try to check that whether we can able to get it or not. So here I will use console.log data.post. So in this one we are having entire title and body, right? So right now when I click on this save post, so we are not able, we are getting it as an empty. So here you will be able to see title and body is empty. So right now what I will try to do is, I will add some data here and I will try to click on the save post. So you will be able to see the title and body has been filled with the data what the user has entered. So that means it is directly related to the template. So that means there is no need to check whether the data is getting updated or not, something like that. There is no need to do. Automatically those are two-way data binded to each other. So there is no need to bother. So that means automatically when the user tries to enter the data, when you click on save post, so just you need to take this data and you need to send it. So fine. So in order to send this data, so you can have your own post API or otherwise, so let's try to use this one, add a post. So here when you try to use it, add a post, and here we are having this add a post. Okay, so this is the URL which it is asking you to send. Okay, so let's try to use it. So here we have the URL, constant URL is equal to, so this is the URL which we are having, and for sending this API request, so the method should be post and headers we need to send it, and the body we need to send it like this, json.stringify that he is saying. Okay, fine, let's try to prepare the headers for this one. So constant headers, request headers is equal to, and it should have a method of type post, and you need to have a content type. So this is nothing but we will be sending the request headers, what type of content we are trying to send it, content hyphen type. So if you are trying to send, the browser is trying to send any HTML data or something like that means, so then we will try to send, we will try to tell it as text/HTML. If you don't send this one means what it will happen is the server will try to realize depending on the request body which you are trying to send it. So instead of that one, so we are telling automatically to the server that I am sending the post body as a application/JSON. So in order to send that one, so here we are having a body, and that one we need to convert it into a string data. So stringify of, and we got the data, that is nothing but data.post. That's it. So this one we are trying to convert it, and now we need to make an post request. So for that one, what I want to do, so here I will be making an async call. So I am using an async. So here let add post response is equal to await fetch of the URL, and also the headers I will pass it. Okay, so the headers I am passing. So these two values I am passing it, and you will be getting an stream of data. Okay, so let add post is equal to, and again you will do an await add post response dot JSON. That's it. So if you want to get the data means you can do console.log of add post. So let's try to see what is the server response we are getting. Let's go to the here, and I will refresh this page again. So let's remove this one, add post, and I am adding some data here, and click on the save post. So we are getting it is an 400 bad request. It is telling that user ID is required. So it is thinking some user ID is required. Okay, let's try to add it dummy user ID. So right now we don't have anything, so I will try to add some 5 or anything. Fine. Let's refresh this page again, and I will try to add it again here. I will remove this one. So if I click on save post, still user ID is required. So I didn't save it or what? User ID of 5, data.post user ID. So we need to send it as a user ID or what? Let's see again, network. In this 400 bad request, whether in the payload we are sending, okay, user ID we are sending it. Let's see whether the mistake is from our side. Let's see again, save post. Still it is telling I don't know user ID. Let's see this guy's code, how he is writing. User ID, he has written the same thing already. User ID of 5. What I have did, user ID of 5, and I am directly sending the JSON stringify of this one. So everything is correct only. Let's refresh this page again, and we will try one more time. So I am trying to click on the save post. Still I am getting this one. Payload, user ID, title, and this one all I am sending it. Headers. What is the data request method is post only, and the request headers which we are trying to send it, where is the request headers? So request headers we are sending, the content type is text/plain. Why the content type I am trying to send it only request headers text/plain. Let's try to copy that one, whether maybe the spelling mistake or something like that. Content type, okay, we need to add, so we have added it directly like this, right? This is wrong. So we need to wrap it in the headers, and I need to use it like this. So we will be having multiple request headers, right? So that is the problem. So fine. So now, so like this you need to see. So right now, so I am trying to send the request headers as content type application/JSON, but it is taking it as a text/plain. Why? Because so that is the reason payload, it is thinking that payload should be a plain text format. So it should not be a JSON format. So now I am telling that this payload is of type application/JSON. So now let's try to see whether we can able to submit the data or not. Let's try to check it. Save post. Now it is submitting. So now it has been successfully submitted. Now if you try to see here, the request headers, the content type, now it has been changed to application/JSON. Now the payload, the server able to recognize it, realize it very easily. So this is using the content type, we can able to do it. So this is how we need to send headers. We need to add in headers here. We can send it, we can make it as a config also. So whatever the thing it may be. So this is the object how we will be framing for the fetch, and same Axios also we will be framing the same like this only. And now we are successfully able to send the data add post thing. So the second thing what I need to do here, so when successfully submitted, I need to close the modal pop-up, or otherwise when I click on this close button, I need to close the modal pop-up. So this one I need to do it. So that means, so where is this close pop-up? I think somewhere model submit dot prevent close. Yeah, this is the button, close button. So when the user clicks on this button, click dot prevent is equal to on close. Okay, so this is the method which I need to use. So now, okay, so when the user clicks on this one, close, so I need to execute this function on close. Fine, so everything is working fine. So what I need to do here, so when I click on this close button, so what I need to do, somehow I need to make that variable, which is a variable show add post model, as false. Okay, now if you try to observe carefully, maybe you people have forgotten, I think. So what is the component hierarchy structure we are having? At the top we are having an app component. Okay, at the top we are having an app component, and in this app component we are having two more components. That is nothing but, right now we are using just as a presentational only, header component we are having, and we are having another component, that is post component. Okay, so these are the two components which the root component is holding. So header component is just a presentation, just for the time being we have added it. So if you want, we can add logic also. So right now I am not concentrated more on this one. So again we are having a post component here. So this is the component more it should be focused. So here this post component, inside this post component again we are having a child component, that is nothing but single post. Okay, and in this single post also, okay, let's try to remove this one. So we are having in this post component again two components, that is nothing but single post. Okay, so this single post we are having, so this is the single post, and again we are having another one, that is nothing but post model, that is nothing but add post model. Okay, add model we are having. So these are the two things we are having. So like this it is, like right now the hierarchy structure we have divided is like this. So now, so where is this post data? So the post data, the API call is called at the parent. So the parent is responsible for calling the API call, and we will be getting the post data. So that means the entire post data is there in the parent, and this post data is sent as a props here to the single post. So we have checked that props also. We are sending each post data as a props to the single post. So now when we need to show this add post model, so in this post only we are having an show add post model variable or property, whichever it may be having. So when this one becomes true, this post model will be invoked, and when this becomes false, this post model will be removed. So that means the user is trying to do some operation in this component. Somehow we need to invoke a signal to the parent component, and we need to make this one as false. So that means we need to send a signal to the parent component. Okay, the user has performed something, so we need to close the add post model, something we need to send a signal. Then post model, the parent component, what it will try to do is, it will try to make this variable as a false. Automatically this false means this component will be removed. So that means I need to send a, so here how we are trying to send this one, here if you try to see here in this one, in this single, add post. So when the user clicks on this close button, okay, when the user clicks on this close button, so that means the user has performed some action. So that means he want to close this model. So that means we need to send a signal to the parent component, to the post component, and we need to tell that to make this one as false, so that this add post entire thing will be removed. So this model will be removed. So for this one, for communication of this one, so we have learned from parent to child means we have learned that it should be a props. From child to parent, the communication should be from child to parent. So then we need to use an event emitter, custom event emitters. So how we can define this one? So let's try to show. I will try to see. So here I will show you how we can do it. So here in our add post, right? So we need to send an event to the parent component. So first of all, we need to define the event. What is the type of event we are sending? So here I will use define emits. So here this time we will be getting emits. And here I will use some custom name, that is nothing but close model. Okay, so this is the close model. So or whatever the name you want, you can use it, close model. Okay, let's see. So this is the event emitter I will be using. So here I can use it something like constant emits. So this is the variable. Now when the user clicks on this on close, this is the function which is getting invoked, and here I want to send emits of close model. So I am sending a signal. So I am sending an emit. So event, I am sending an event. So this event needs to be captured in the parent. So here I am sending a signal. Here I am sending a signal that is nothing but the signal name is close model. So this is the signal name which is going. So it will go to the parent. So here whenever a signal with a signal with the name close model came means, so it needs to capture the signal and it needs to make it as a false. So how we can capture that signal? Let's try to see it. So here, so who is sending that signal? We know that that signal will be sent by the add post. So here we need to add @close model. So this is the signal we are getting. So when the signal we are getting, so we need to call on close. Okay, on close model. So some method I am trying to execute it. So this is the method I will try to execute it. And if you try to go here, I will create a function. And here I will do console.log closing model. Okay. So now if I try to go to the console.log inspect element, let's go to the inspect element. So let's see that whether this method will be invoked or not. So now here I will close and add post. So here I am clicking on this close event. So when I click on this close button, this method will be invoked. Why? Because we have written @click.prevent on close. So that means this method will be called. And in this method, what I am trying to do, I am trying to send an event with a name close model. So normally we can say, normally in our JavaScript point of view, we say it as an event. You can think of it as a signal or something like that. Something event or signal we are sending, some notification or like that we are sending with the name. So in order to identify that what is that signal or event, so the name, we are having a name. Now when I click on this thing, automatically, so because the element that is, what is this having? Okay, so let's leave this one all. So now we are able to send this close model, and here in the post thing, automatically if you try to see here, closing model, this method has been invoked. So this is how we are able to invoke this one. Let's see that single post, right? Sorry, add post, right? Where we have added this click event, something wrong place we have added that. Okay, for the button only we have added it, right? Area label close data is this one only, add post. Okay, that one only. So let's leave it. So I don't want to this one. So now closing model has been invoked. So that means this closing model has been invoked. So how it is getting invoked? We have sent an event, and that event, that signal will be captured here, and it is trying to call this method onClose model. So now we got the onClose model. Now what I will try to do here, directly I can tell something like data.show add post model. So this is the variable. I will make it as a false. That's it. So now if you try to see here the output, so add post, nothing will be there. I want to close this model means I will click here, automatically the model will be closed. So I am sending a signal to here and click on the add post. Again this one will come. Why? Because this is, we are making it as a true, and when I remove this one, we are able to see it. And if I click on again, I will add this data, and here also body I will add it, and I will click on the save post. So now you will be able to see that the data will be submitted here. Okay, so here if you try to see the network call, where is the network call? Yeah, so if you try to see the network call here, if I click on the save post, so we are able to see this save post has been successfully added, post is successfully created, and the payload if you try to see, sorry, the response if you try to see, the same response you are able to get with an ID. So that means the inserted ID also, the primary key ID also it is sending. But right now we are sending only title like this, and in the response it is sending with an ID. So fine, so that means the post data is submitting. So now what I need to do, my requirement is, so after successfully submitting this model, I need to close this model automatically. Now what I need to do here, just we got this one. So when this one is submitted, or when this one is successfully submitted, just I can call this on close. So I can call this on close method directly. Now if you try to see the output here, let's refresh this page, and I will click on this add post, and I will add this one. When I click on this one, save post, automatically this one is on submission, automatically the pop-up will go away. So this is how we will be doing this add post. This simple example how we can divide the components and how we can use this add post. What I want to say, the props and event listeners, how we can use it in the real time. So this is how we will be using it. So this is how we will be doing the posting. So simple thing, we have made an API call and we are showing all the details, and we have did this add post also. And if you want to close this symbol, so this one also you can do it on your own. This one is on your own. Why? Because we are having a close, and what this one has to do, this one also the same thing what this close button is doing, the same thing it has to do. So that means you can directly copy this click.prevent and you can use it here for this one also. Now if you try to see here, let's try to refresh this page once. And if I click on this add post, if I close it, automatically it will go away. If I try to do this one also, it will go away. And if I try to do this save changes and all the things, it will go. After submission, it will go away. So this is how we will be dividing the components and we will be doing this one. So we should make all the components linear and simple. So that is the main concept behind this one. This is how we will be doing it.